Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and I wanted to bring you a a follow-up in an article, or in a video I did earlier, and this is going to be an article review, where there was this professor, her last name is Durden. She had made some racist comments, Lisa Durden. She had made some racist comments against white people, and she was like saying that you white people are angry because you couldn't use your white privilege card to get invited to the Black Lives Matter All Black Memorial Day celebration. That about sums it up. She's racist against white people and males, typical intersectional feminists, and she was defending this Black Lives Matters All Black Memorial Day, where they kicked out all non-blacks from being able to celebrate with them on Memorial Day. And so one of my viewers told me that before I did a video on her, and she hadn't been fired yet. So one of my viewers told me she actually had been fired now, so I looked it up, and what do you know? She's fired, but not without making some parting comments. So, professor fired after defending blacks only event to Fox News. I was publicly lynched. Come on, she says. Publicly lynched. Yeah, that's not going for emotionalism and this victim narrative. Poor victim, how poor of you, that people would come after you for being racist against white people. How dare us? We're just supposed to take it. And so it says, on June 8th, with about a week left of her summer session of teaching, Durden's employers at Essex College suspended her. About 2 weeks later, Durden was fired from the community college. The college's president announced the decision in a lengthy statement Friday, days after Durden met with school officials in a community forum. I actually think what he did was very professional, what the president did. He suspended her, did a review properly, and suspended with pay pending, and then made the decision that, she was no longer to be employed there, and got rid of her, which absolutely by the book, in my opinion. Anthony E. Monroe, Essex County College president, said the administration was immediately inundated with feedback from students, faculty, and prospective students and their families expressing frustration, concern, and even fear that the views expressed by a college employee with influence over students would negatively impact their experience on campus. In consideration of the college's mission and the impact that the matter has had on the college's fulfillment of its mission, we cannot maintain an employment relationship with the adjunct, Monroe said in the statement. The video is here if you want to watch it, but basically, he never mentions her by name, which I think is professional. Because you want to move on as a college. He explained the situation. He explained the process, and then he explained the results, and then he did something really good, in my opinion, where he explained a bunch of good things that they're doing at the end, because it was a pretty, negative comment. So he wanted to put a positive spin at the end, and he did an effective job at that. So I thought it was a very professional statement. But yeah, I was publicly lynched, Durden said she said, but Durden said the firing was unjust and baseless. Unjust and baseless. She's basically, wait till you see the last comment, the last sentence of this article. She claimed there was no due process, there were no facts. Okay, there's this video that they saw of you talking. What do you mean there's no facts? and you got suspended. He explained the process. You got suspended, and then with pay, might I add, and then they had a meeting with you where they discussed stuff, and then they decided that you weren't fit to work there. I mean, there was a due process. So I was publicly lynched. Durden said in an interview with the Washington Post, they didn't let me finish the class and they disrupted the learning process. No, you did that. You put them in a position to disrupt the learning process where you forced them to, because you said statements so horrible that they could not trust you to fairly grade students. Students were leaving your class because they didn't feel comfortable, and because you were like going off on tangents that had nothing to do with the class. And so they just did all their work at school or at home and then brought their homework in. I mean, that is not a healthy environment. But let's finish this here. Durden, who began her first semester of teaching at the school in January, I think they can upgrade, was wrapping up the first summer session of classes and was already scheduled for the fall semester. As an adjunct professor, she teaches classes on subjects such as mass communication and popular culture. Mass communication? Oh my god, epic failure. How about the don't be racist in front of everybody on national TV card? They didn't teach you that one? She said she was given no reason for the suspension. Like, is she seriously going to act like she doesn't know what the suspension was for? Though a human resources representative explained to her verbally that it was in part because she identified her relationship to the college in the interview, Durden said. This was not the case. The show simply identified her as a political commentator. I think there was a part where she was actually identified to the college, but, you know, in these articles and stuff, it was widely known, and it doesn't matter either way. It obviously drew negative attention to the college. And, I mean, she's a racist, so it makes sense for them to get rid of her. I had a right to free speech, and I exercise that right, Durden said. Yeah, but then employers can actually fire you for, you know, saying things that compromise you in your work. Durden, whose media commentary focuses on issues such as pop culture, race, and politics, said she was invited onto Tucker Carlson tonight to discuss the Black Lives Matter event. She did not choose the subject of the conversation, she said, but she did agree to go on. I mean, nobody's forcing her to go on. This particular day was a hard topic, Durden said. It was a debate. It was not meant to be something that was an easy conversation. Oh, so then you just, you know, resort to being racist. Okay. I totally get it. It wasn't an easy conversation. So, you know, every time I'm having a tough conversation, I'm just, you know, extremely racist towards certain groups of people. Makes sense. And not just racist, but sexist and all kinds of bigoted. Anytime commentators discuss a controversial topic on TV, there will be people who agree and disagree, Durden said. There were many people on social media commending her statements, and yet the university chose to take actions as a result of the negative responses. She still doesn't get it. Essex County College is federally designated as a predominantly black institution and a Hispanic serving institution. It has a large black student population, and its new president, Monroe, is black. I am that population, Durden said. I live in New York. I was born and raised in New York. Well, you know what? So this isn't like white people going after you. The college themselves, who are mainly made up of minorities, blacks and Hispanics, are also not agreeing with what you said. That should tell you something. That should give you a little, self-reflection. I decided to come back to New York because this is my community, she added. In his statement, Monroe said the college supports and affirms the right of free speech and independent views and expressions of those views for faculty and staff, but he added that it denounces any conduct that implies that all students are not welcome to participate in or benefit from our programs or activities on the basis of their race, color, orientation, or national origin. Since when did a statement like this become, controversial, I guess? There are people who find, like Lisa Durden, find a statement like this controversial. Durden told the Post that in retrospect, she wishes she would have made clear in her interview on Fox News that when she mentioned white people, she referred only to the white people who were upset about the Black Lives Matter event. Okay, we're gonna go through this article more. It's clear that she's an outright racist against white people, and she means these as blanket statements. I will apologize if a person assumed I meant all white people. And it doesn't matter if it's all white people or just the white people who had a problem with Black Lives Matter event, because you're only talking about the white people. What about all the other races, people of other races that had a problem with the event, which I'm sure there were plenty, because this is a mainly black college with a large significant number of Hispanics. This is I get the impression this is a minority majority school. I will apologize if a person assumed all white people aren't racist, she said. Oh no, those white people that agree with you ideologically aren't racist, right? Just the ones that disagree with you are racist. Her remarks in which she compared the Black Lives Matter event to a wedding that excludes children. Yeah, she also proved that she's an idiot. Drew intense backlash on social media. Many commended the college's decision over the weekend, calling her a disgusting racist, angry racist, and racist pig. Because this is the Washington Post, so watch how they try to defend her. One conservative writer called her a black supremacist. She is. Many of these accusations and portrayals feed into existing stereotypes about black women, Durden said. When you're an African American woman, she said, when you are your personality, you are called an angry black woman. This has nothing to do with your race. Nothing. The people in this school, are led by minorities. They're not targeting you because of your race. They're targeting you because of what you said is despicable, and you actually are a racist. And this final comment is going to prove it. Reverse racism, she added, doesn't exist. Well, ironically, she's right in a completely opposite way. Because it really doesn't deserve to be called reverse racism. It's simply racism. Racism against white people and against males. It does exist. And it should be called racism and sexism, not reverse racism and reverse sexism. So, there you have it. She actually got fired. And, I would recommend watching that video, but I'm not going to play it just to save time because it's 8 minutes long. But it was professional, and there can always be stupid rogue, there can always be stupid rogue professors. And maybe they should have made a change earlier, but They had the opportunity to make the change now, and they made it. I mean, you can't, we shouldn't just continue to get mad at this school when they've done what we want them to do. So then I decided to look into the professor that said Otto Warmbier got what he deserved, if you remember that one, and to see if this professor got fired. Another anthropology professor. Jesus, I didn't even realize they were both anthropology professors, to be honest. It says, as of Sunday, June 25th, at approximately 5 p.m., the university has announced that Kathy Detweiler will not be rehired to teach classes at the school in upcoming semesters. Detweiler was an adjunct faculty member in the school's Department of Anthropology. Her firing comes after widespread national coverage regarding her Wednesday morning Facebook post, in which she said that Otto Warmbier got what he deserved. Now, I don't believe in going after teachers for any little thing, going on these witch hunts to fire any teacher that says anything out of line. But there are some things that are just so far out of line. Like, this one actually compromised this teacher when she has such a long history, too, of saying racist things about white people. And this teacher has the same thing where they saying racist and sexist things against white people and men. And, these are your typical feminist politician or professors that, it's all the typical majority groups that they're going after. And this was just uncalled for, to go around saying that Otto got what he deserved because, he was, for crying out loud, the guy tore down a political poster and got 15 years for it of hard labor, and then was, had his brain effectively wiped because he was given a drug over and over and over to the point that it destroyed his brain. I mean, that's how he got he went into a coma. And then instead of, giving him back and giving him proper medical care, he remained in a coma for a year before they gave him back to the United States, and he died shortly after. And then you're going to say he deserved that? That's disgusting. So anyways, I'm not going to go through this whole article. You can read it if you want. Long story short, she got fired. And this one was at, where was this? The University of Delaware, I think. Yeah, it was the University of Delaware, and their statement is, the University of Delaware values respect and civility, and we are committed to global education and study abroad, the statement said. Therefore, we find these comments particularly distressing and inconsistent with our values. Our sympathies are with the Warmbier family. I mean, they basically had to make this move. You can't let this go where this was effectively a national tragedy. So, anyways, between these two professors, they both got fired. Both are, interestingly enough, both female anthropology professors. I'm pretty sure they're both feminists as well, but, when there is outrage, we are getting changes when we're seeing these ridiculous things. And I think it's a sign that we're going after legitimate issues too. It's not just going after any random teacher, we're going after specific teachers that cross the line, that put their students' grades at risk, and they basically say a statement so ridiculous that they aren't fit to be a teacher. And I think these people are really going to struggle to get another job, to be honest. Because these comments are so far over the line. Anyways, have a good one, guys.